might see some wintry showers at the weekend.
Chris, thank you. And that's it from the BBC News at 6. It's time now on BBC One to join our teams across the nations and regions for the news where you are. Goodbye.
Sophie, thank you. Good evening. Racism, misogyny and homophobia at the heart of the Metropolitan Police Force. Tonight on BBC London, a special programme on what it means for Londoners and what needs to change. The review by Baroness Casey looked at the culture throughout the force and found that it needs a complete overhaul to restore the trust of Londoners. We'll have reaction from those in charge and from people across the capital.
I'm absolutely determined that we will fix this.
We need an external test as to whether we think it's cleaned itself up and the systems are in place.
My feelings are of sadness and anger, but not of shock.
And to say here we are, 40 years later, we're still saying that these things are happening. Come on.
You know, you're hearing too many things about the police that, you know, they're supposed to protect and serve, are they?
I've got friends that want to join the police, you know, but because of the racism and all of it, it put them off.
Hello and welcome to the programme. Police officers jailed for rape, sexual assault and murder. Systemic racism, misogyny and homophobia. Women and children failed. Londoners put last. Today, the state of the Metropolitan Police Service was laid bare as the report into its culture and standards of behaviour was released. Baroness Casey was tasked with the review after Sarah Everard was murdered by police officer Wayne Cousins. In her report, her stark warning was that the force could be broken up if it didn't change fast enough. The Met Commissioner has said he's heartbroken by the findings and has vowed to put things right. But where does this leave our police force and the Londoners they're supposed to protect, serve and represent? Our Home Affairs correspondent Sonia Jessup has the first of tonight's reports. Well, I'm joined now by London's Victims Commissioner Claire Waxman. Claire, thank you for joining us. Do you think Londoners trust our police? Well, thank you so much, Claire, for coming in to share your thoughts on that. Claire Waxman there. Well, today's report, as we've been hearing, is just the latest to shine a light on the culture of the Met. And one of those politicians is the Home Secretary, Suella Braverman, who today criticised the Mayor's leadership of the Met.
Baroness Casey is unflinching and unequivocal about the dysfunctional relationship between the Mayor's office and the Met, and her recommendation that the Mayor takes a more hands-on approach. It was frankly shocking to learn that the Labour Mayor does not already chair a quarterly board meeting to exercise accountability over the Met.
Home Secretary Suella Braverman there. Well, our correspondent Carl Mercer has been speaking to the Mayor about his reaction to the report. Sadiq Khan speaking to Carl Mercer. As we've been hearing, reaction to today's review has reignited calls for change from many across the capital. Some campaigners have been pushing for action for decades, many working with the Met and communities trying to build bridges. Our reporter Bhavani Vadi joins us now from Brixton. Bhavani, thank you. Well, our Home Affairs correspondent Sonia Jessup is here now. Sonia, a challenging day for the Met, being called one of the darkest in its 200-year history. Does its future look in doubt? Sonia, thank you. Next tonight, for the first time ever, Piccadilly Circus is going to be lit up for the entire month of Ramadan. 30,000 lights will be on display. They'll be switched on by the Mayor Sadiq Khan, who'll be fasting himself. Alice Bandakravi is at Piccadilly Circus now. Alice, thank you. Now, not many 10-year-olds can claim their lead guitarist at a fundraising gig, but that's just what this young musician from Putney is doing. Phoenix has been having music therapy since he was 3 after being diagnosed with a speech delay. Now, he's using his talents to raise money to help others benefit in the same way. Impressive, and I bet not many 10-year-olds know what psychedelic blues are either. Time for the weather now, with Elizabeth Rizzini being attacked by a daffodil.
Yeah, my giant daffodil. Yeah, I do like this picture. It's quite Triffid-like, isn't it? I think. Well, the big difference between yesterday's weather and today's is that, yeah, it was mild, it was breezy, there were showers, but there was actually some sunshine as well. So by the time we get to the end of the weekend.
Lizzie, thank you. That's about it from me, but you can head over to our Instagram page to find out how beavers are making a comeback in West London. I'll be here later at 10:30, but for now, goodbye.
Ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Some of those showers will start to turn wintry hue.
Chris, many thanks once again. And that's it from us. There's more analysis, of course, of the day's main stories. That's coming up on Newsnight, and that's with Kirsty tonight. And they're getting underway on BBC 2 any moment now. But here on BBC 1, stay with us for the news in the nation's regions, wherever you are tonight. But from all of us here on the 10 team, thanks for watching and good night.
Thank you. On tonight's programme, calls for a complete overhaul of the Met as a damning review finds serious failings within the force. Good evening. Police officers jailed for rape, sexual assault and murder. Systemic racism, misogyny and homophobia. Women and children failed. Londoners put last. Today, the state of the Metropolitan Police Service was laid bare as the report into its culture and standards of behaviour was released. Baroness Casey was tasked with a review after Sarah Everard was murdered by police officer Wayne Couzens. In her report, her stark warning was that the force could be broken up if it didn't change fast enough. The Met Commissioner has said he's heartbroken by the findings and has vowed to put things right. Our Home Affairs correspondent Sonia Jessup has this report. While the report has made for shocking reading, for some it chimes with their own experiences with the police. We've been getting reaction in South London. And you can hear more of what the Met Commissioner Sir Mark Rowley had to say about today's report. Earlier today he spoke to BBC Radio London's Eddie Nestor. You can find that interview by heading to BBC Sounds. Now for the weather with Elizabeth.
Hello there, good evening. A bit more sunshine around today than we've been seeing of late, and there'll still be some brighter spells as the week wears on, but generally it's very unsettled, so wet and windy, staying windy and mild too on Thursday.
And you can get lots more on our social media, including London's West End being lit up with Ramadan lights for the first time ever. That's on our Instagram page. Just search for BBC London. But that's it from me and the rest of the late team for now. Good night.